Welcome to Mr. Pradeep Biswal, an IS officer retired and also happened to be the member of RERA, one of the prestigious organizations. As an authority, he has transformed RERA for the common people. Let me also say about Mr. Biswal, who happens to be an IS officer, had served the finance department as well as in education department, so he knows the system in and out. Today, I will invite Mr. Biswal to talk about ailing education system, and as for his own analysis, does India require revamping of Indian education system right from primary level to higher education system? Welcome Mr. Biswal to this program. I request you to give a brief introduction which I may not have been able to say about you, and let's hear from you. How do you feel the system is ailing and requires to be revamped? Welcome.
Namaste. Good morning. Really, it's a privilege for me to join your program today. I am basically an administrator. I have served the state government for more than 30 years. Finally, I also served as member Odisha Real Estate Regulatory Authority. Besides that, I am a poet, a writer, an intellectual. I have also served in education sector in different capacities. What I feel, our education system has become more accessible over the years. That must be admitted. But the quality education is still a challenge for us. The access has increased, but the quality is not up to the standard. So we have to overhaul the entire system from the primary level to the higher education system. We need to have a better system in place where there should be more focus on technology, then your transparency education system should be transparent, technically sound, and it should not be examination oriented. The aim of our education should create good citizens who can serve the nation.
You have rightly pointed out. Sri Biswalji, please tell me how this ailing system could be changed or revamped at a faster pace. You can suggest a few points on that in brief.
Now we have this national education policy, new education policy, and the roadmap is very clear. If we implement the national education policy in true spirit, then I think the entire education system will undergo changes and it will be quite effective. Basically, we need to have better infrastructure first, because you see in the rural areas the education infrastructure is very poor. They don't have any connectivity, they don't have adequate classrooms, they don't have qualified teachers. So like that, even you see these engineering colleges, they are also suffering. Now students passing out from engineering colleges, they don't get a job. But the quality of engineering education in India is very poor.
I'll just request you, let's talk about the school and college education system right now, then we'll move to professional and technical colleges. So you said that infrastructure has to improve, teachers must be well qualified to deliver the kind of education which is required, considering the global standard. When we have a budget around 4% of the GDP, and I believe that still considering the 4% amount which government has allocated for education, why these infrastructures are not being able to be taken care of, or the quality teachers, when we have got a lot of unemployment issues, qualified people are not getting jobs. So what makes particular, I am talking about the primary and secondary education system, where's the problem?
The problem is that this 4% of GDP spent for education is not adequate. It must be at least 6%. Yeah, you know, the NEP also they targeted up to 6%. Yeah, the adequate funding is not there for the public government schools. All right. Then we do not have sufficient quality education, quality teachers, qualified teachers. For qualified teachers, the teachers training system has to be robust. I must admit that the teachers training system has not got proper attention of the government. That has
In
to be again-
Orissa, I believe that many of the students, those who are aspiring to get what you call B.Ed education,
Yes.
so they used to migrate to Andhra Pradesh and some other state.
Yes,
why not in Orissa? What is the reason why
Yes, yes.
Orissa lack B.Ed
Yes.
colleges? you
At
know?
a point of time in Odisha, the B.Ed education was stopped almost. Private sector is not allowed there. Only government schools, government colleges were there, and there they were very few. So people were migrating to Andhra Pradesh for B.Ed degree, and that is also the B.Ed degree they were getting, but that is not
Absolutely, they are just
quality. Yeah,
Yeah,
just a
absolutely.
degree.
Degree, that's all.
Yeah.
Okay, so I believe it is, as per your what you call view, government needs to be more focused and action oriented
Yes.
rather than making policies, right? The other question which comes to my mind, that how education can be made accessible and affordable to all. This is a very
You
important
see,
question which I am asking.
Primary education itself is like a fundamental right for the children. Yeah, no children should be deprived of education. That must be the motto of the government. Government should see that not a single child is getting deprived from education, getting education. Yeah. So for that we have to rely on government schools. We have to make the government schools more attractive for the children. Okay.
Government has introduced midday meal kind of program also, I believe, and Anganwadi and a lot of other activities.
A lot of things are going on. But the impact is not that much visible, like your private schools. And I must say, the mushrooming growth of private schools also has an impact on the growth of the government schools. As I mentioned, in Sri Lanka, as you say, in Sri Lanka there is no private school, no private college, no private university, only government school, government colleges, government universities. But education is made compulsory up to graduation. Anybody will see on the road, he is a graduate. So that shows the seriousness of the government to impart education to the young mass.
People say that education in India, especially minus this government, what you call schools and colleges, private schools, colleges and universities have become very, very expensive for common people. So government is not able to control the fee structure also. What is the reason?
No, actually now in Odisha they have made a principle, a policy, new policy that it is from KG to PG it will be free in government schools, colleges, like that. That's a good endeavor. Okay, that people need not pay for that. That's good. But in the quality education you find in private colleges, private universities, they are providing quality education. That's fine. But it is beyond reach of a common man. Like health also, healthcare also, you will find in India, healthcare and education are becoming very expensive and is beyond the reach of a common man.
Another information which I personally want to share with you, the last couple of years we have seen almost a lack of schools. The government schools I'm talking about are closed. Especially some states like UP, MP, which constitute almost 50% of the total number of schools being closed down by government, and other states put together approximately 50,000 schools have been closed, whereas private schools have been thriving. So what is the reason why schools are being closed?
The same case is with Odisha also. In Bhubaneswar itself, the state capital, the government schools, they don't have sufficient number of students for which they are gradually coming down. Okay, and now even a rickshaw puller wants his son or daughter to get admitted in a
See, but
public school.
do you feel if government schools offer the quality education at affordable price, why should, suppose if in my
Yes,
case, why I'll spend 10,000 rupees per month fee for my son or daughter, whereas in 100 rupees or 50 rupees, those
So that is, we must admit that the quality of education in government school has to improve. It is not yet up to mark. Again, people have a fascination for English medium schools. Okay.
That's okay. Like government has a system like school inspectors and all were there who were concerned and visiting all these remote area schools to see if the teachers are coming or not,
You
students
see,
or not.
in government schools, even in secondary schools, you'll find there is no teacher to teach mathematics, no teacher to teach science. The Sanskrit teacher teaches mathematics, like that. Adequate number of teachers are not available. That is a lacuna in the system. Okay, government has to recruit trained teachers. That is not
Are
there.
we not having required number of or desired number of qualified people,
Yes.
those who can be groomed and placed as a teacher in the remote areas where remote area or rural areas where many students are avoiding to go to
I
school.
find, I was the director of Rashtra Madhyamika Shiksha Abhijan. Yeah, I found that there is shortage of teachers. When I was the director of Adarsh Vidyalaya Sangathan, state government established 300 plus schools, English medium schools in 314 blocks. All right. Then we had to recruit teachers for that. We found that out of 300 plus, we got only 100 persons for headmastership to be principal of those schools. And also, we did not have sufficient number of science teachers, mathematics teachers, even English teachers
So
like
what
that.
could be the reason why qualified people are not experienced people are?
Yes, there is a shortage of qualified teachers. That is a shortage of qualified
So it
teachers.
is not a paradox that in a country where unemployment, let's come out from Orissa, I'm just trying
Yeah,
to know, and they believe that
national level, yeah.
national level. So in most cases, the same issues are seen, that there's a the shortage of teachers, shortage of qualified teachers of
Yes.
subjects and all, and that's about the quality of teaching
Yes.
is broadly affected, right? So there is another point. It's a very valid point. I'll just conclude with that. Another important question which I'd like to know from you, I believe you will in those. The government had implemented many things, but still parents or many intellectuals have been demanding, looking into the differences of the quality of education in one state to other states like Kerala, Tamil Nadu. It is said that it is better. Even Punjab has come up very well. But rest other states, especially Chhattisgarh, MP, Rajasthan, Gujarat, including Bihar, Jharkhand, Orissa, where the quality of teaching is not, and it is quite different than what should be. So I just wanted to know, one nation, one education system, is this policy not good?
This is good, but the state should be given the power to have a local version of that. Okay,
Vernacular.
because the scenario in states like Odisha, it cannot be compared with Northeast states. Actually, the topography, the culture, everything differs. Okay, you cannot adapt the course curriculum, the adapted in Odisha or Bihar or Chhattisgarh in Manipur or
That's
other
okay.
states. So
Three language, yeah.
they should, these states, concerned states, should have options to introduce local variations.
Okay. No, three language system, which I believe that many countries have the same system. Local.
Yes.
So like this, we can also have, and same students then go for UPSC like All India level test. You know, they find it difficult in matching with the students from some other states like Kerala, Tamil Nadu, or Delhi, or some. So there's again injustice to them also because they are not exposed to that level, and when they suddenly go for All India test like NEET or JEE or UPSC or NDA, they find it difficult, and that's how it is reflected.
But you see a straitjacketing approach in a country like India is never desirable. It's never desirable because it is like a subcontinent. Yeah. So the cultural ethos varies from state to state. The language varies from state to state. The culture varies from state to state. So the broad parameters should be same, but local variations may be allowed.
So it's really nice talking to you, Pradeep Saab. I will conclude with the points which you have raised about that. Yes, there's a lack. We are lacking into offering quality education to our
Yes.
children, right?
Yes.
We also lack in the quality teachers
Yes.
to give quality teaching to the students, especially in the rural areas and remote areas, of course.
And you see, in the rural areas also, you don't have electricity. You don't have net connectivity. So when we go for technical education, technical support for the education, that you cannot afford.
So I believe the government has to take a lot of measures to ensure that power, the internet and all these things are accessible to everybody so that the quality of education is uniformly spread to all across the country, right?
Yeah.
I believe that with your inputs, what you have shared, the listeners and the audience who have seen your talk will appreciate and try to push their views with their respective states also. With that, I'd like to thank you once again
Thank you,
for
thank you.
being
Thank
with me and talking on a very crucial subject related to our the next generation. Thank you so much. Okay, thanks.